Alright, so we're not gonna mix in Gadget this week, but we still in Gadget. Let's do this. Alright, so last week there was a comment on the video about going from an 8-bar loop to a full song in Korg Gadget. And the comment was basically asking, how do you make a riser in Gadget? Like how I made the riser in that track. And it's actually super easy. So we're going to do that today. Hopefully I can get the mixing in Gadget video to you guys by next week. I just didn't want to make it and rush it. I really didn't have enough time to make that this week, so I apologize for that. But anyway, let's get into it. So let's grab a Dublin. Let's open it up. All right. Once you have it open up, let's scroll all the way down to the Dublin initialize patch. Okay, so let's just play a note. All right, so there's a very plain note. All right, so what I'm going to do now is actually go to the patch bay. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the envelope generator out. I'm going to attach that to the pitch. Okay, and then what I'll do after that is take the attack and bring that all the way up. I'll take the sustain, bring that also all the way up. The decay, you can bring that up as well. And the release will bring it down. Now, if I play a note, you're gonna notice that it will still sound the same. The reason why that is because the amount knob is still at 0. So what that means is it's not affecting whatever it's connected to. So if you bring the amount up, it will then make your note rise. But if you bring the amount down, it will make your note drop. So just bring the amount up to 5. And you have a riser. Let's say you want to make this just a teensy bit more interesting. Go here to the modulation generator number 1, and I'm going to connect that to the gain. Okay, and after I've attached that to the gain, I'm going to turn the BPM key on. So this way it will modulate the volume in time with the track. Notice that the amount knob is still at 0. So I'm going to turn this up to 5. Now, let's say you don't really like the way that it was adjusting the volume. You can then change the wave that is adjusting the volume. So we'll bring it from a triangle to a saw. Now let's try with the square wave. The square wave is essentially, it just turns the signal on and off. Now let's try with sample and hold. Alright, so you have different options. You also don't always have to bring it up to 5. You can have it somewhere in the middle. Let's see what happens when we have the amount set to about midway with the square wave. So you can hear it's still kind of clicking, but it's not completely turning it on or off. It's not completely turning it off, I should say. All right, so let's now adjust the frequency. It was at a quarter note, so let's bring it up a little bit faster. An eighth note, see what happens. All right, the square wave is pretty cool, but check this out. Now, if you take the frequency and drop it down to, let's say, about half note. Now let's take the second modulation generator and let's attach it to the frequency of the first modulation generator, and then let's turn the BPM on as well, and let's turn it up, but then let's turn the frequency of this one down. And let's see what it sounds like with a triangle wave. So now what you have is a riser that has a modulation generator, which is pretty much adjusting the speed of the riser itself. Okay, and you could always do it in reverse. So I'm going to turn the modulation generator 2 down to -5, and I'm going to turn the speed of modulation generator 1 up and see what happens then. So basically what it's doing is modulation generator 2 is adjusting how fast the frequency goes from all the way up to basically all the way down. All right, we've only got one oscillator on, so let's turn the second oscillator on as well. So let's just hear what it sounds like now. I'm gonna bring the octave up. So now it's a little detuned, the sound is a little bit thicker, a little more interesting. Now let's turn delay on. Okay, then you could easily go into the delay and adjust the time of the delay. Okay, you can put one at a 4th and the other one at a 6th or whatever you want. Adjust the feedback and the mix, even the color, and let's check it. That right there is how you make a riser in Korg Gadget. It's your boy Cheese the Producer, and I'm signing off for BeatMaker is the Squad. Peace.